How Mitakuyepi. Hello, everyone. The four parts of the self, the mental part, the spiritual part, the physical, and the emotional, those are the four parts of the self. And each one of those parts breaks down into four again. The four parts of the mind and the four parts of the soul, the four stages of life, with the physical part, the four basic emotions, and how other emotions are combinations of those. The four parts of the mind, one is like right now, the conscious self, and then there's the next two parts are located in what some people call the subconscious. And maybe one school of thought will say, okay, one is subconscious and the other is superconscious. I know these are English terms, and the Lakota terms for them are really long. But these are things that I have discussed before. There are four levels, and the level that's deep inside of us is where a piece of Ea lives. This is the person who started the creation of the universe, but it wasn't just him alone. Okay? There's more than one creator in the Lakota way. So, these are the four parts of the mind. And sometimes when we dream, we can receive information from these areas. And sometimes we can receive information from the deep part, where we have a part of Ea there. It's a very sacred thing. So that's the four parts of the mind. And with the four parts of the soul, this is regarding the journey of the soul that talks about that. And I will put a link to that video in the description too. It's called Soul Journey. So listen to that video and you learn more about the four parts of the soul and what happens. Yeah, it's really interesting. And as far as the four parts of the body, the physical, this relates to the four stages of human development. We are born, yeah, we're babies, and then we're young people, and then we're adults, and then we're old people. These are the four stages of development that everybody goes through. And that's why the number four is sacred, and that women have three more developments. And they receive those developments when they becoming women, yeah, the girls, when they become women. And there's a ceremony concerning that, but their three gifts open up. So that's concerning the physical part. And concerning the emotional part, the four basic emotions are happiness, sadness, anger, and fear. And other emotions are combinations of those. And concerning this part, it's not a healthy thing when you try to live in one of these emotions. Like, for example, some people will say, well, I want to go to a place where there's eternal happiness. if all there is happiness, how do you know you're happy? Yeah? It's like if all you've eaten is bitter food, how do you know it's bitter? Do you see what I mean? You're not supposed to live in the emotion. The emotions are part of learning experiences. Even happiness is something we can learn from. When we have experience and maybe it's a difficult one and we feel anger or fear or sadness, it comes with that experience. This is a door, okay? It's just a door. And I know these feelings can be really strong. Like when somebody dies, or you get a disease, or you break up with your partner, or you're lose your job or whatever. But a strong emotion comes. But this is a door, okay? And in the Western world, they don't focus on this kind of knowledge. And this is really sad. Well, let me explain why it's important. When a difficulty happens and that emotion comes with it, we have to feel it. We have to let it out, yeah? And we have to do something constructive to get that energy out. I said in previous videos, do something strenuous, yeah, something that requires a lot of physical activity, like run or swim or cut some wood or do something to help somebody. Because when you do something to help somebody, you're sending out a healthy energy. And then that healthy energy returns to you 4 times as strong to help you to heal. So that's one reason, okay? And then as you do this, the emotion comes out, and then now your mind can talk to your heart. Yeah, now they can talk to each other, and then your mind can help you to learn from this situation and make the best of it. And then you acquire knowledge and wisdom, and sometimes that knowledge can be how not to do something. Yeah, this is important. Sometimes it's more important than how to do something. So that's why in Lakota there's no mistakes. As long as you do something about it, yeah, as long as you learn from it, you make the best of that situation, then that experience, that difficult experience, transforms into a teacher. And it may be a wonderful teacher, and then you realize, wow, you've really come a long way in such a short time. Yeah, but you have to do the work. So this is why in Lakota there are no mistakes unless you don't learn from it. And when you choose not to learn from a difficulty, then you are being irresponsible to yourself. And you're the one who makes it a mistake, not the difficulty. The difficulty is never a mistake. It's you who makes it a mistake when you choose to not learn from it and not make the best of it. So when you do this, then you develop emotionally. And then this helps you to develop spiritually. So if we don't have that emotional development, we really can't develop spiritually in an effective way. I mean, we can, but not too effective. Yeah. So these emotions, if we stay in the emotion, then we don't develop emotionally, and then we don't develop spiritually. So if you try to force yourself to only be happy, you're stunting yourself. Yeah? Your heart and mind will never connect. They will never talk to each other as if you force yourself. So you're actually smothering yourself when you're doing that. It's okay to be happy. There's times to be happy, but there's times to be sad. There's times to be angry and times to be scared. This is okay. But we have to work that emotion out, as I said. So that's concerning the emotional part of the self. I invite you to come visit my website at wolakota7.com. You can see the address on the screen. And here you can learn about the books that I've written and also some of the services that I offer. For example, spiritual consultation and Lakota language lessons. And you can see the books that I wrote. And one of them, called Keya and Mato Stone Hearts I wrote with my wife. And if you would like to order these books or order any of my services, you can see all the information on the screen. And for more questions, please write to me at the email address that you see at the bottom right of the screen. Thank you very much for listening to this video, and I really appreciate your support of this channel. Also, thank you for the comments that you leave. I read them all, and I really appreciate them. And if there's information here that can help you, then that's cool. And if not, then, well, that's okay too. And thank you very much for being a part of this community. I invite you to visit my other channel, which is called Lakota Language from the Heart. And I'm putting a link to it in the video description. So check out my new channel, which is exclusively about learning to speak the Lakota language from the heart. Everything is a circle. There is no end. So that's why we say until next time, which in Lakota is Dok Sha A Ke.